he would have wrestled Josh Coderhont there at 141. So here comes Bockman, again, number 16 for the Cyclones. He's a seventh-year senior, three-time NCAA qualifier. He's been to a couple different locations, started his career at Cal Baptist, then transferred to Utah Valley, and is now at Iowa State, coming down from 197 pounds last year. And again, on the flip side, it's Daniel Williams for the midshipman. For your only ranked match of the day here in the duel, Iowa State leading at 17-9 over Navy, following the decision from Danny Wask at 174.
Well, you can see why the midshipmen are high on Daniels. Daniels, has a little bit of a length advantage here, as Bockman, pretty stocky build for a guy that this year is going to be wrestling at 184 pounds. And to do that, he has to walk the walk of a college wrestler the whole year. Just to make weight and be comfortable at that weight. And Williams, you can see his athleticism and his quickness, which we got a taste of there right off the bat.
Zeros here early in the first period.
They even introduced this on the PA as the marquee matchup.
Absolutely. Should certainly be an interesting one between these two. At 184. Including this, 3 matches to go on the day. Iowa State again leading at 17-9 over Navy. A couple of technical falls have really boosted Iowa State's score. One from Anthony Etchemendia at 149 over Keeman Smith, and then more recently, Connor Uten was able to get one in the second period against Charlie Evans at 165.
Bockman, great job.
That's a takedown for Evan Bockman to get things started.
Super strength there to build up from being on the mat to putting him into an aerial position to score the 3 points.
And interestingly about Evan Bockman, he's actually wrestled younger Bastida, the usual heavyweight for Iowa State, who we won't see tonight, but he's wrestled him nonetheless 4 different times. And that was 2 seasons ago. And get this, Tom, all 4 of those matches between those two occurred over the span of 3 weeks. So random little tidbit there, but...
Yeah, so they knew each other when he came into the room.
No doubt. Certainly good experience when you get to wrestle somebody like younger Bastida.
Well, this is a match that Bockman, he needs to win this on a home mat against a guy that's in a position, it appears, to be in the bracket at the NCAA championship.
3-1 here for Bockman over Daniel Williams. Williams 13 and 14 last season. He's already got 2 ranked victories this year. Had a 9-2 decision against his opponent from Drexel, and then lost by a 5-1 decision against number 22 Gavin Kane of North Carolina. We've talked about the Beast of the East a couple times already today.
Yes,
he was second there as a senior in high school.
It's a great tournament.
Sure is. Kerry Colat told us earlier today, when talking about this matchup in particular, Bockman, he likes to go the slower route, right? He's a patient wrestler. He's steady. And, what he told us about from the perspective of Daniel Williams is that he's just going to have to explode and have those quick hits. Can't get impatient because Bockman will just kind of ride it out, and he's really good at that. There's an escape for Bockman to make it 4-1.
I think what the Iowa State coaching staff and fans liked in Bockman's first match was that, he was in a position to win in the 3rd period last week, but he kept working and went after those bonus points.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
That's really, that tells everybody something.
Yep, 4-1 here, 1:30 to go in the second period. You mentioned that, Tom. He was pretty conservative for most of that match, and then he had 3 takedowns in the final 45 seconds.
Conditioning.
That was enough for a 15-7 win against Luke Duthie. And that's a guy who should be an NCAA qualifier, so a good start to the season for Evan Bockman in last week's duel against Stanford. That was last Friday. Minute to go here in the second period, 4-1. Bockman over Williams.
There aren't many situations that Bockman has not seen. But still, working with Carol in the wrestling room and younger Bastida, that is going to make you better.
Well, and again, we talked about it already. He was a 197-pound wrestler last year, and he's down to 184 this season.
I know, and there's some people that were saying, well, look at him. How can he get down to 184?
Right.
Well, you got to live the right life.
Well, and Kevin Dresser said this week, too, that he's put in a lot of extra work and cardio, and it's been a lot, but he feels like he's done it right, feels good. And Dresser said as well, he said the young guys need to watch Bockman train because that's a guy who trains the right way, and he's certainly done it right. Well, it's not easy to go down from 197 to 184, but he trained the right way.
Well, and Bockman even talked, he had a heart ailment, which they were able to address, but he's, had his own challenges.
Bockman aggressive to start here. The third period leads at 4-1 over Williams in the 184-pound match. Iowa State 17-9 over Navy in the duel. Again, Evan Bockman with the major decision over Luke Duthie of Stanford last week. He had 4 takedowns in that match. See if Bockman has a sort of similar result to last week against Duthie, where, again, like we talked about, had 3 takedowns there really in the waning moments. There's that ride time. He's close to a minute.
The Navy coaching staff telling Danny, up right away, up. Bockman is warned for stalling, but you can see he's totally in command here.
4-1 again. Bockman with the lead. There's that ride time. Good chance he secures that for an additional point. 1:01 to go here in the third period. And 2 matches to go after this one, as Williams gets the escape. .45 to go here, third period. Again, Navy with already their 3rd ranked duel of the year. They wrestled against the number 23 ranked Pittsburgh Panthers in week 1. Here goes Bockman looking for a takedown, and he's got it. And again, Bockman getting aggressive here at the end, just like last week against Stanford. Let's see if he's got one more in him. Daniel Williams just scratching for anything at this point. There's that ride time. As he has the point secured, so factor in an additional one here at the end. Out of bounds will reset with 9 seconds to go. And wow, Tom, Evan Bockman just finds a way to, again, impose his will down the stretch. He's got that late time takedown to really put this one in jeopardy.
Well, that's the kind of thing you got to do to make a difference and raise your game. And he gives up the escape as Bockman wants to even get another takedown in the closing seconds. It's the kind of thing you work on in the room all the time.
He was certainly going for it. Does not matter, though. Bockman still gets the victory. The 8-3 decision, giving Iowa State a 20-9 lead over Navy as we head to the final two matches of the day. Bockman over Daniel Williams there at number 16. Again, wrestling down from 197 at 184. So Iowa State looking to just kind of cruise the rest of the way here. And interestingly, Tom, I mean, this is kind of the bulk of Iowa State's lineup, right? Once you get to 184, you kind of have